1 week ago, I made this video, and the video was titled, "The Minnesota Timberwolves are to trade Andrew Wiggins to the Golden State Warriors for D'Angelo Russell," but it was denied. And why was it denied? Because the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't have the assets to get D'Angelo Russell. But let's take a look at some of the comments in that video. And by the way, these were some ruthless, awful comments. Let's start with Gary Sutherland, who says, "You need to stop telling lies about people trading. You are a fake. Stop sending out fake news." Mike says, "Why are you making this up for views?" Brett Wilson says, "Why does this dude always lie to her subscribers? And look, it made Russell get traded. He is a devil, always lying. When any of us see his channel come up, he should not be viewed." And bro, even if I was lying, like, that's a little intense. You think I'm the devil? What I'm trying to say is, I said about 4 days ago that the Houston Rockets were going to make a huge trade. Literally 2 days later, they made a huge trade. I made at least 10 videos documenting each and every step of the D'Angelo Russell trade. And if you didn't believe me, and if you thought I was a fake before, I understand. There's a lot of fakes out there. But what I'm asking from you guys now, all those guys that thought I was a fake, you can now tell I'm not a freaking fake, bro. I will go and fight tooth and nail to make sure I get you guys every piece of news as soon as freaking possible. And if that's not enough to earn your subscription and earn you turning on my notifications on this channel, then nothing is, man. No news channel will do it. Now, let's jump right into this news. Of course, when we get to 24,000 followers on Instagram, I am going to be giving away a signed Kobe Bryant jersey. And check me out on TikTok if you want to see my workouts. Now, I said this over and over again. The Minnesota Timberwolves are absolutely desperate for D'Angelo Russell. And to give you some context of why the Timberwolves are so desperate to make this move, they're currently in the midst of a 13-game losing streak, which is tied for the biggest losing streak in NBA history by a #1 overall pick. Karl Anthony Towns has tied Michael Olowokandi. That is not company that you want to be in. And Karl Anthony Towns really just seems to be losing his spirit. It's actually very sad to see. After last night's loss to the Atlanta Hawks, by the way, Karl Anthony Towns came out and said, "I've been losing for a long time. I'm not trying to do that shit anymore. So every possession means a lot. You obviously see my patience running low with a lot of things. There's no excuses. We gotta get it done." The Timberwolves are currently 14th in the Western Conference with a record of 15-35 with 32 games to go. Their playoff hopes have pretty well evaporated, and now they're just gonna have to hope for a high draft pick. But the problem is that draft pick may be on its way to the Golden State Warriors, depending on where it lands next year. This year, they're going to probably keep their draft pick because they're doing so terribly. So I'm going to give you guys context about this trade. The trade, first of all, is Golden State has agreed to trade D'Angelo Russell to the Minnesota Timberwolves for a deal that includes Andrew Wiggins, like I predicted, a 2021 protected first-round pick, and a 2022 second-round pick. The Warriors will also send Jacob Evans and Omari Spellman to the Timberwolves as well. This is probably to get underneath the luxury tax threshold, and we're going to dive into why this trade works. For the most part, the reason why the Warriors decided to do this was D'Angelo Russell's stock was never going to be higher than at some point this year. Next year, when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson comes back, or in about a month when Steph Curry comes back, there's a good chance that D'Angelo Russell's usage is going to go down. He's not going to look like as much of a baller at all, and how could he? He's being surrounded by Hall of Fame shooters. He's just not going to get the opportunity to get as many shots up. That's just going to diminish his value. They're probably not going to see as much of a return for him. But in addition to this, the Golden State Warriors decided to make this trade because they were desperate to get underneath the luxury tax threshold. When you're paying D'Angelo Russell, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, but you're not even a playoff team, that's a little freaking depressing, man. No owner wants to pay that luxury tax bill. So, of course, they're essentially swapping out the contract of Andrew Wiggins for D'Angelo Russell. They're taking on the contract of Andrew Wiggins, but on top of that, they also are getting a couple of picks and they're getting the opportunity to dump the contracts of Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman, which should help get them underneath the luxury tax threshold, or possibly even get them underneath the threshold completely. I'm not familiar with Amari Spellman and Jacob Evans' contract, but this is also why the Golden State Warriors went ahead and traded Glenn Robinson III and Alec Burks last night. That's what the Golden State Warriors get out of this. What we get out of this as NBA fans is, bro, Draymond, I understand Andrew Wiggins is a freaking laughingstock. Let's just be optimistic here for a second. Bro, Andrew Wiggins is now surrounded by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Could we just think about how fun that's going to be in an up-tempo offense, in a stable front office, with a coaching staff that clearly knows what it's doing? He's not part of a dysfunctional organization anymore like the Minnesota Timberwolves. We might be able to see Andrew Wiggins finally fulfilling his potential. And honestly, that's something I really want to see. This is like a classic. Andrew Wiggins, if he fulfilled his potential, was supposed to be like a classic shooting guard. He was supposed to be a player in the mold of early 2000s Kobe Bryant and Tracy McGrady, a player that would captivate us with jaw-dropping dunks, and he kind of did in the beginning part of his career, and he was supposed to be a very exciting player. And I just feel like if he falls into the right situation, there's hope for him. And it seems like the Golden State Warriors are the right situation for him. I feel like they will find a way to make him fit in. If a team could find a way to get Draymond Green to be an essential part of any offense, I'm sure that they could find a way to make Andrew Wiggins a very important player in that offense. That's just the optimist in me. I know some Warriors fans are going to be pissed off about this trade regardless, but they're merely just selling high on D'Angelo Russell. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Timberwolves, bro, this trade isn't going to get you guys to the playoffs. I'm going to be honest. It's not. This trade is way more about that. This trade is mainly to make Karl Anthony Towns relax a little bit and to say, hey, we got your best friend on your team now. They're really close. Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell are really good buds. And Karl Anthony Towns clearly was getting frustrated this year, and as he should be, man. It's his freaking 5th year in the league, and the Timberwolves just haven't had the success he was hoping that they would, and this guy is a grinder. So he has D'Angelo Russell, a guy that could, first of all, create plays for him, a guy that could take over in late game situations if he needs him to, a guy that I'm really hoping will stay in Minnesota. D'Angelo Russell's an incredible player. He deserves to be a one-team player. I don't know how he bounced from the Lakers to the Nets to the Warriors and now the Timberwolves. He does not deserve to be traded this many times this early in his career. I feel like these two players are a phenomenal core to build around. They're going to be running an up-tempo offense, which is Ryan Saunders' offense, which is very consistent with the modern NBA. Now they could start surrounding these two with shooters and, good 3-and-D players, and we could finally see what the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be about. I feel like these two players are a perfect complement to each other, and I feel like they're going to play some great basketball with each other. But the most important part of this trade, and the reason why the Timberwolves made this trade, was to make a statement to Karl Anthony Towns. Karl, look, we understand things are tough right now. Just know we're doing everything it takes to appease you. We want you here in the long term, and they understand that if they don't do everything it takes to get Karl Anthony Towns the teammates he wants in a situation that would put him into a situation to succeed, then he's gonna leave once his contract is up. I understand his contract isn't up for multiple, way down the line. We're talking way down the line. Cat isn't a free agent for another 4 years, guys. But this trade pretty much makes a statement to Karl Anthony Towns after he kept on saying that his patience is running low. He's tired of the losing. He doesn't want to waste his prime. He's 23 years old. He's about to enter his prime. He doesn't want to waste his prime with a team that isn't trying to compete. And the beauty of this trade is this is the #1 and #2 pick in the 2015 NBA draft. They are the same age. Their developmental timelines are going to be the same. It's a classic point guard and center / power forward. I don't know what you consider Karl Anthony Towns. He's a very versatile player. I consider him a center. It's a classic big man guard duo. And the beauty of this is D'Angelo Russell, I know I say this a lot, is so freaking versatile, bro. Like, he got drafted coming out of Ohio State. He got drafted for his ability to make great passes and his ability to create his own shot on the ball. But this guy could also play off of the ball. Like, if you bring a point guard who needs to make plays, say if you bring in a Ricky Rubio type, which I don't think the Timberwolves are, and D'Angelo Russell slides over to the shooting guard role, he's still going to be an effective player. He's just such a good player to have on your team. He fits into practically any roster, and he seems extremely mature. And I think that has something to do with the mistakes he's learned from his past. So let me know in the comment section down below. And if you believed in me from the get-go, that this trade was gonna happen, let me know in the comment section down below. If you doubted me, please let me know in the comment section down below. Either way, I forgive y'all, man. It's all good. We got some epic trade news. The NBA is significantly more exciting as a result of this trade deadline. Let me know what you guys think about this trade. I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and I'll bring you guys the news in the next video. I'll catch y'all later.